Hello. This week's video is going to be on the question I get a little bit: if I'm using really good quality skincare, why am I not seeing results? And particularly if you're trying to qualify for really nourished vitamin A rich skin. So I'm going to try and tackle it in under 5 minutes. So wish me luck. Okay, so our skin, it's a waterproofing organ that's designed to keep things out. So when I meet a client who's usually been using a lot of nothing or over-the-counter skincare or just really aggressive skincare, the top layers need to be corrected first. So that means the waterproofing layers, the skin's acid mantle, its microbiome, and the top layers are as thin as a piece of paper. So it's a very thin portion of the organ. The skin grows from the inside out. The dermis is what lives, it's where all the good stuff happens. So when you're born, your living cells in the dermis, which is the living layer, it has about 90% stores of vitamin A at birth. And by the time you're in your 8, 9 years of age, if you grow up in Australia, a lot of sunshine, and then now a lot of us are exposed to artificial lights, which destroy vitamin A very, very quickly. And then we have pollution in the air. So all of this creates free radical damage, which denatures the vitamin A. So the vitamin A in those storage forms is more like a sunscreen. So it's more working as a nutrition factory that gives up its resources for the damage it's exposed to. And once it has no more resources, the DNA of the cell becomes damaged. And now as we get older, we start seeing problems occur on top because the skin grows from the inside out. So what you see on top is just, it's like icebergs. You know, if you see an iceberg on top, you know there's 90% usually more underneath. So you always want to get down to the root of the problem. And because the skin's a factory that can heal itself, you have to help get those stores down. So I always think of two ways. Skin, it's a factory that's designed to be waterproof. Okay, so with that, you're going to have a few little things to consider. If you keep using the same level, dose, combination of vitamin A and antioxidants and peptides, your skin is going to plateau out. So there is only so much that same recipe can do, just like exercise. No two skins I've found are the same. We're all a little different. We all have a different history. We grew up in slightly different environments. When it comes to, one client might have grown up, their family were really into holidaying on ships. And other families might have been like me in the bush, outside a lot, playing in the bush when I was a kid. And then you might get someone who grew up in a city, really high pollution, etc., etc. So the map has been made when you're a child, teenager, and then often the vitamin A, to absorb them, it has it's like receptor sites, and they become damaged once there's sort of depletion of the nutrition in the cell. So then we have to remember that to regrow receptor sites, you need to feed the cells. So this is a bit complicated. Hopefully that's starting to make a little bit of sense. So as it becomes complicated, it means you do need to have help. It's not something often you can just experiment with. I've spent my career doing this. Now I offer online programming. I've been doing that for years. So half the time I am working one-on-one with clients, and the other half of the time I'm working on their home programs or in sort of clients that I don't get to hang out with in person. And sometimes people come to me using really good quality skincare, but they're just not sure why it's not working. So I have to adjust it and coach them. It's adjusting things. Sometimes it might be the skin cells on top just not turning over quick enough, so a lot of it's just sitting on top and wasting its time. Other times, receptor sites in the base need a little bit more clever programming or adjustments to be combined to get it in. Sometimes it's how they're applying it, the time they're applying it. Other times, there's just so many scenarios. Other times it can be just they're not protecting it correctly. They're sitting in front of artificial light for a job for 7 to 8 hours, and they don't have enough blue light blocking shields up on top of that vitamin A. So the vitamin A, they say 45 minutes of exposure to light, we lose 85% of our vitamin A stores. Now, if that's true, we are really struggling to maintain our vitamin A. If vitamin A is the king of all our skin problems, if we can correct that, we're all going to be very happy people when it comes to longevity of the skin, reversing skin cancers, reversing skin disease. So disease is anything unhealthy in the skin. It's definitely my goal, and it's my goal for most of my clients, and that's why I won't do certain treatments, strong treatments on skins that do not have a good vitamin A in the lower layer of the skin, because when you press the skin to regenerate itself and it doesn't have that nutrition factory, it's like asking you to run an ultra marathon and don't train for it and don't hydrate on it. The body needs the right nutrition so it can build back stronger, and it really can. But this is where we do need to learn, or sometimes we just have to work with someone who's good at it. This is why I think it's best to have a practitioner work with you, and that doesn't have to be super expensive. Sometimes I try and offer online coaching, and then just little amendment smaller fees when they need to adjust programming. So it should save you time and money, because when you have someone making those adjustments for you, you should be seeing much bigger results, and you should have better expectations of what to expect as well, and also options of what you could do more or less. You could add or work towards different treatment protocols. You could work towards specialized advanced home care treatments, or just adjusting the program sometimes to make sure that you're getting over 12 months a younger, healthier skin and closer to your personal goals. So my main goal was to teach that our skin, it is a very amazing organ that's designed to self-heal. But just because you're rubbing really good quality products on top, it doesn't mean they're absorbing. And even with my skincare, I'm always adjusting things. When bottles run out, I change how I apply it, what I combine with. Sometimes I'll alternate this and that, and that's how I see much better results. I'm in my 40s, so I do know I have to be more intelligent about this. And then annually I have a treatment plan that I will execute over the year that will allow all of that home care to have maximum results. And it doesn't mean I have to do a lot of work. It just means it has to be adjusting and not just repeating all the time. So adjustments don't have to be big, but sometimes little adjustments can make massive changes in the skin. And obviously the health goes along with it. So the healthier the internal body is, the skin is a beautiful, what would you say? It's like a sensory organ for your inner health. So there's just so much wonderful things about the skin, because it just tells me so much about the body. So anyway, this was more just designed to be a little bit educational on that, because I think we live now in a world where everything's clickable. You can buy things easily over online, and you can expect wonderful things, and marketers tell you everything, and sometimes people get very disappointed simply because they expect this to do wonderful things. But I just want you to know that your skin is designed to keep stuff out, and the healthier it gets, the better it gets at keeping things out. So that's why you might need a little bit more advice if you're expecting a really rich vitamin A rich dermis. Anyway, let me know if you have any questions. I'm going to try and do education on this subject, especially after we're having such a hot summer. Our skin needs that extra help and extra TLC. All right. Have a lovely rest of your day, and we'll talk soon. Bye.